everybody. It's Angie Rupert, founder of Rupert Law. We handle exclusively E-2 and E-1 visas, so no matter what treaty country you're from or in what state you want to be, we can help. Today, I want to talk a little bit about some recent approvals that we've had and just kind of give you a few of the details. Maybe it will inspire you. Maybe it's similar to what you want to do. Who knows? Anyway, just to kind of give you a feel and a flavor for recent approvals here in 2025, okay? All of these were approved in 2025. So let's start. I'm going to kind of give you a little bit about the business, where this interview happened, or with USCIS, and the investment amount. It will just kind of give you just a little bit of an overview about what types of cases we're seeing. Now, you may have a case that has nothing to do with this that is great, or you may have a case that's very similar that maybe isn't so great. Obviously, we would need to look at all your documentation to see if you meet the requirements, but this will give you a feel and a flavor to see what's being approved in 2025, at least for our clients, right? So we had a recent approval in London, the U.S. Embassy in London, for a dog training business. The investment amount for that was $92,489. We had a recent approval in Toronto for a trucking business. Now, this is someone who bought the majority of an existing business, so bought the majority shares. They invested $111,706, and that was in Toronto. We had someone apply in Mexico City who was an engineer. He had an engineering firm, and that investment was $104,792. We had someone who was an Italian citizen living in Brazil, applied in Brazil, and opened a franchise. And investment was $263,306. We also had someone who applied through USCIS, change of status. He opened up a pizza restaurant, and his investment was $104,905. We also had someone, another USCIS. This was an old E-2 status to new, E-2 status, new E-2 business, and this investment was $400,000. We had someone apply in Frankfurt who had an IT-based business. His investment was $103,671. We had another Brazilian Italian, this time, who went to Rome, the U.S. Embassy in Rome, and applied there. That was a cleaning business. Her investment was $100,168. We had a client who was an Egyptian national, but ended up going to Toronto for an interview there. He had an import-export business, and his investment was $300,000, give or take. So those are some of the recent approvals. There were more that were kind of similar to those. So this kind of just gives you a feel for some of the different embassies and consulates we're dealing with, the different types of businesses we're dealing with, the investment amounts. So you kind of get a feel and a flavor for what is happening right now. And again, this doesn't mean that yours is bad just because it's different, but also just because you have these types of qualification doesn't mean that you meet all of the E-2 visa requirements, right? We'd love to speak with you. So if you have an American dream and would love to pursue your E-2 visa, please give us a call anytime. We'd love to speak with you about your E-2 visa.